What's up, everyone? It's Rey-Jay back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with SPY, Tesla, Nvda, the QQQ, and a couple of other tickers, and then talk about some very important levels. But just know that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And don't forget to smash the like button. Anyways, now let's talk about the market. So I just want to say that right now the charts do favor upside a little bit more as we're approaching some tight resistance on SPY and the QQQ. Now, I'm going to make it clear that SPY and the QQQ aren't as good looking as I would say other stocks out there like Tesla and the IWM. So I'm going to, in my personal opinion, I'm just going to try playing those a lot more next week and just prioritize those. But I just want to say that there is potential in SPY and the QQQ if we break some key resistance. It's just that we're getting stuck at it. It's very, very tough right now. And we'll just have to see what the reaction is. But I still see a lot of momentum on this chart. It's still holding up very well, and we'll just have to give it some time. So, what's happening for the week? I'll be talking about the charts in more detail in just a few minutes. But just know that for Monday, we just have a couple of Fed speakers and minor data. Tuesday is just a bunch of Fed speakers. Wednesday, we just have a couple pieces of data involving crude. And then we have the FOMC minutes. That's going to be very important. That'll give us more insights on what the Fed is thinking. So, it's going to be a huge move on Wednesday. On Thursday, we have initial jobless claims and very important manufacturing numbers coming out. This is going to be very important, causing high volatility. So expect that for Thursday. And then for Friday, we have Jerome Powell giving a speech. That's going to be huge. When the guy speaks, the market moves like crazy. So Wednesday through Friday of next week are going to be crazy. Lots of volatility, big data comes out. And then Monday and Tuesday will be very minor. And then on top of that, for earnings, just real quick, I just want to mention that for Tuesday, we have Lowe's, not to mention Xpong and a few others who are interested in like EVs. Then lots of retail after that. Wednesdays when we have Target, Macy's, TJ Maxx, and a few others like Zoom. And then for Thursday, we have just minor ones like Peloton and not to mention Ross. Very, very minor earnings. So we'll see how things go. But I just wanted to call this out. That's what we're looking for on the earnings calendar. As far as the Fed goes, there's a 72.5% chance to give us a 25 basis point cut. This will be adjusted, possibly depending on what Jerome Powell says for the week, and also depending on the FOMC minutes. So be very careful and be very, very mindful of that. So, what do I see for the markets? Are we going to just like pump and dump? Are we about to see a big move? It depends on a lot of different factors. And like I said before, the market is bullish. It's been pushing up and up and up, but we slammed into some very, very tough resistance. The resistance is very tough at 555 for SPY. If we break that, I'll also be looking at 556. The entire range, 555 to 556, is kind of tough. If we get above 556, we're going to remain really bullish. We're going up to 558 to the potentially the gap fill for 563. But at least 558 would come if we break past 556. Now, if we reject, okay, if SPY doesn't break past 555, you're going to be looking at basically the 552.5 area as our supports. And if we lose that, look at 549.5. Remember that very, very carefully, because then if we lose that, we could come down to fill this gap. Even if we do retrace on SPY, does not necessarily mean that we are bearish, because look, we could be forming a giant inverse head and shoulders. This could be like a left shoulder here. This could be a head, and a right shoulder could be forming. Not a guarantee, but it's always a possibility. But like I said, the chart's still bullish nonetheless. Whether we get a dip and then continue higher, if we just continue from here, we're still bullish. Whether we get a dip or not depends on how we react to resistance. But so far, the chart is technically speaking more bullish. We dipped a bit in the morning only to get bought back up. So the buyers are still winning. The charts are favoring upside. Nvidia looks more bullish as well. We have this gap to fill up here around 126. This favors upside. If we break 126, I think we're going all the way up to 129. That's going to be a tough level. So we'll see how we kind of react around that 129 to 130 area. And if we reject off 125, look at 121.5 as critical support. So we got to hold that or else we will turn back down. Overall, the chart is uptrending. It's looking strong right now, but look at 125 as tough resistance. We haven't broken that yet. If we break that, that's our confirmation for the gap fill and higher levels. So watch and see that next week. We still remain a bit more bullish. We'll have to watch for that test. Bitcoin's a little bit lackluster. I was trying to rebound only to kind of reject a little bit. We have resistance at 60,000. We came short of that, and our support is currently around 58,897. We'll see if that breaks or not. So give it some time. There's a little bit of weakness here, especially as we're making lower highs. So give it some time. We're not doing too bad though for Bitcoin. I also want to call out, let me just double check this. Many others like ES. ES made a very, very nice move. We formed a nice kind of like cup, if anything. So are we about to form it like a handle if you want to go down that route, or maybe an inverse head and shoulders? It depends on this resistance at 5,600. Can we crack 5,600 and start squeezing higher? Or are we about to get a little pullback? I think we might push a little bit higher for 5,600. We'll see if we reject. It's going to be a tough level. So far, the chart remains bullish. We dipped only to get bought back up. So we will just have to wait and see. That resistance might go a little higher, and then we'll see what the move is. Same thing on SPX. We might go a little higher towards 55.65, and we'll see if we reject or not. We have the same setup on all these different charts, so it looks very, very interesting. Now, my two favorites for the week are going to be Tesla and IWM. Tesla looks really nice right here. We have a nice 4-hour structure, nice little cup that's forming. And then when you look at the daily time frame, it looks bullish. It looks very bullish on the daily. So I think what's going to happen is whether we get a little dip first and then continue, or if we just continue from here, we're easily going to 230 plus on Tesla. I think there's going to be a nice pump. And I think there's going to be some good news or something that's going to lead this. We'll see if we dip first and then continue higher, if we just continue from here. But either way, I do see upside coming. It looks very favorable. If we were to lose 210, I'd be looking for 205 again. Technically, even if it does dip, it's going to be fine. It should rebound. And if we break past 220, we're easily going up to 222, 225, then 230. The chart looks more bullish. The QQQ looks more bullish, especially as we're trying to hold above 475. If we break 475, watch out, guys. We're going up to 480 to fill the gap. If we come short of 475 and we reject, look at support at 472. Then eventually that 470 area is going to be key. Because if we lose that, I think that there's a risk of 468 and 464, a big gap fill below. We look more bullish. It looks like it wants to go higher. We have that gap to fill. So we'll see if we keep going. I know we've been pumping so hard through resistances. But I just want to say there's no sign the market is slowing down here. We're at resistance, but we still look bullish. Apple looks more bullish. We're trying to break resistance. If we break that 228 area, we could try to get to gap resistance towards 230. And if we come shorts, watch support around 223.8. If we lose that, we have a gap to fill to 221. So we still remain more bullish. We look really, really nice. Like I was saying, the IWM looks really nice. I absolutely love this chart because there's a nice structure here. We're breaking past our EMAs. We will see if we grab liquidity at 210 or not and then continue higher. But we have this big gap above to fill, and the daily looks really nice. So this is favoring at least 216, if not 220, especially as we have that imbalance to fill. This looks bullish. This looks very, very bullish when you look at this. So in my opinion, there's a nice uptrend. I think that's going to try to fill this gap. As long as we hold above 210, we're going to likely do that. If we lose 210, there could be a risk of us dipping a bit, but it looks more bullish. Amazon looks more bullish, but we got to try to hold above 177. It's kind of shuffling here. It's a tough resistance. Why? It's very simple. Look at the daily. We have this previous support becoming resistance at 177. Break that, we're going up to 180. Lose that, we're going down to 175. If that breaks, we have that gap to fill. We favor upside for 180 in my personal opinion. For Meta is once again starting to dip a little bit. Just be careful around this 525 area. If we lose that, there's this gap to fill down here. We basically have 520, then 516 coming. If we don't hold 525, if we do hold it, we could rebound for 530, then 534. It looks to me like it's going to dip a little bit to at least 525, maybe a little bit lower, but then it could rebound later on. Microsoft is the same thing. I'm not really liking the setup as much. We failed to break 420. We have this gap to fill. Might dip to 415 to 416, and we'll see if it bounces. And for Google, we're trying to rebound. The 4-hour looks quite nice, so does the daily. But the problem is, every time we hit 166, we get smacked down. So we need to break 166 to get back up to 168. So watch it very carefully. Anyways, that's pretty much it for my video. I don't want to go into any more details because it's the weekend's coming up. It's a Friday, and I'm going to give it some time. So my plan is I'll give you guys another market update video tomorrow. I'll talk about some minor things. And then for on Sunday, be on the lookout. I'll be releasing a video where I go over everything in full detail. I'll give you guys some insights on how the markets and charts are looking. All right. So I'll see you guys tomorrow for another update. Want to make this one nice, short, sweet, and simple. Enjoy the weekend. Have a very, very happy Friday and rest of your weekend. Have a great day, night, or evening, wherever you are around the world. And I'll see you guys very soon tomorrow on the next one. Thanks again, and peace out.